All right, how's everybody doing today? Let's get this started. My name is Dave Kerner. I'm Palm Beach County Mayor. We're here today in our ongoing effort to communicate the most recent and most important information to our community at large. I have some quick points that I want to communicate to the community. I'm joined up here by members of the Board of County Commissioners and our operational professionals from the county, to include the Supervisor of Elections and our Superintendent of the Schools as well, and our Chief of Fire Rescue, our County Administrator, and our Deputy County Administrator, and of course, Dr. Alonso from the Department of Health, who's the lead agency regarding COVID-19. We are presently at the Emergency Operating Center. That's where we will be operating from moving forward, and we've operated here for the last couple of days. We will be activating this Emergency Operations Center to a level 2 on March 16th, 2020, which is tomorrow. That is the second highest level. The good news is there are no new cases, no new overnight reporting cases in Palm Beach County. We currently have 106 in Florida. There are currently 4 travel-related cases in Palm Beach County and 1 under investigation. And so we'll have some more information on that particular point. But the good news is no new cases overnight. United Way Palm Beach County is working on setting up a fund to be formalized tomorrow, which is Monday, for individuals and families affected by COVID-19. On who need resources and assistance. We will definitely report in deeper detail on that point tomorrow. The Community Foundation for Palm Beach and Martin Counties, in partnership with philanthropists, business leaders, and governmental entities, has established the COVID-19 Response Fund to address the needs of our residents. Community health centers, homeless shelters, preschools and after-school programs, food pantries, and others will be impacted. We know this for a fact, and it's already begun. Other social services providers may face increases in demands for services as well. I think that's a reality of the situation. To date, nearly $500,000 has been raised. That's a huge sum. I think it speaks to the compassion of our community, which we see them step up time and time again. And contributions made to their website. You can make contributions to their website, and we'll give you that information in just a little bit. With regards to county government operations, and this applies only to Palm Beach County and divisions under the Board of County Commissioners, Palm Beach County offices and departments will be open tomorrow, Monday. County-operated libraries, parks, beaches, sports fields and courts, pools, golf courses, nature centers, and other recreation facilities remain open. And I would ask that if you go and frequent and visit these locations, that you use common sense and caution with regard to the social distancing protocols that are in place. Some county events have been canceled. I would check with a specific organization if you have a question about what specific events have been canceled. And of course, you can check our county website, pbcgov.org. Circuit and county courts, for this is specific to the judiciary, we have been in constant contact with Chief Judge Krista Marks. So circuit and county courts are open tomorrow, Monday. However, all grand jury proceedings, jury selection proceedings, and criminal and civil jury trials scheduled to begin on March 16th are suspended through Friday, March 27th. So there will not be any grand jury or regular jury trials going on in the courthouse from March 16th all the way to March 27th. If you're serving on a jury now, or you have a case that's before a jury, those proceedings that are currently ongoing will continue at the discretion of the presiding judge, and those answers are best delivered by the chief judge and the judiciary. Final point of information is that the Tuesday's Board of County Commissioner meetings, all these elected leaders that are standing next to me, we will be convening at our normal time at the County Governmental Center for a regularly scheduled Board of County Commissioners meeting, which will begin at 9:30 at 301 North Olive Avenue, and that's at the County Government Center. It's my pleasure now to invite up to the podium the Department of Health leader in this county, Dr. Alina Alonso, and she's going to talk about some DOH and HTD procedures and social distancing. Thank you, ma'am. Doctor?
My pleasure. Good afternoon. Like the mayor said, I am Dr. Alina Alonso. I am the director of your Department of Health here in Palm Beach County. Our department is working closely with all our state, federal, and local public health partners to limit the spread of this virus. We're working diligently to appropriately identify, treat, and isolate this virus. Everyone plays a huge part in lowering the impact of this virus in our community. We need to look at our workplaces and taking every possible prevention action to help to impede the spread of this respiratory disease. We have, I thought we had put the posters on social distancing. We didn't put those up? That's okay. I want to start, we already said that we had the no new cases. We have the ones that we had as of this morning at 1:51 a.m. The 73-year-old male, that is a travel-related case. We have a 74-year-old male, also a traveled case. We have a 59-year-old female that also traveled, and a 65-year-old male that is the fourth one that traveled. We do have a 37-year-old male that is under investigation to determine whether or not it's travel-related. With all these cases being travel-related, what we can say right now is we don't have any community transmission spreading, okay? So we're very fortunate so far that we've been able to hold this. Our department is diligently working with all our community partners on three main objectives. The first one is to facilitate more points of testing and eliminate the residents' frustrations that they're having right now trying to get tested. This includes making testing available at commercial labs, advocating for drive-through testing at both local and federal levels, and for the public, this means that this will make it easier for you to see your doctor, get tested, and get your results. We also want to emphasize the importance of social distancing. I've been saying that since day one, but I want to make sure, what does that mean? So social distancing are measures that we all can take to stop or slow the spread of the infection. Let me give you some examples. I've said at every single press conference and at every single time that I get to speak to anybody, including my sons, students that come to my home, about washing your hands. Why is that so important? Because that's how you're going to catch this. You got to wash your hands often, and most of all, keep them away from your face. In order for the virus to enter through the objects that you touch, you have to catch it from your hands, have to touch the virus, and then bring it into your body. The virus does not go through your skin. So that's why if you just say, keep it away from your face, and that's really hard to do, especially when I start saying it, I bet you 2 or 3 of you are already twitching, right? So don't touch your eyes, don't touch your nose, and certainly don't put your hands or your fingers in your mouth. That's how you're going to catch it. The other way you're going to catch it is by being next to anybody who's sneezing or coughing who also has the virus. So if you're in contact with somebody who is sick with the virus, you could catch it that way. So in addition to washing your hands, what about how you wash your hands? You should be washing your hands with soap and water, and it's not just putting them underneath the faucet and making them 2 seconds. You should be at least 20 seconds. Some people say 30 seconds. And washing them with soap and water. Now, if you don't have soap and water, what I do is I carry a little bottle with me of the hand sanitizers. So after I open a door, or I reach and go and reach at something, or touch this microphone, I will get my hand sanitizer and I will rub it. And it should have 60% alcohol. Now, what about if you run out of hand sanitizer? You can still use alcohol, just plain alcohol. The cheap rubbing alcohol is 60%, 70% alcohol. The little wipes that you open up, look at the labels, those have 70% alcohol. So it's easy to do that, and if you carry that around you, you're going to not only keep your hands clean, but you won't be transmitting the virus to someone else. Now, avoid contact with all people who are sick, and stay home if you're sick. Now, I'm not saying that you have to know whether or not they have the virus. You want to stay away from anybody that's sick, because the fact that they're sick and you get sick is going to stop people from going to work. All right, so try to think about this, that we're trying, it's very important that everybody that's able to work can work right now, because we're going to have people getting sick and not being able to work. That's going to stop the activities that we all do that are very, very important in our community. The schools are obviously going to be closed. You've already heard about that. But how about public transportation? You should be avoiding that, including airplane rides. You don't want to get in if you're sick, right? And places of worship. You might, if you're sick, it might not be the day to go to church, or to wherever you go at church on your Sundays or your Saturdays. If you attend any public events, try to stay at least 6 feet away from folks. Okay, because again, this is something that needs to be in close proximity. And avoid shaking hands. So I've been shaking hands up to yesterday, so today, that's it. No more handshaking. You're going to get a bump with a little chicken wing thing or whatever else we want to do, but let's stop shaking hands. And avoid very crowded places. The more crowded you are, the more likely you have somebody sneeze or cough on you. And then encourage working from home as much as possible. Starting tomorrow, the health department and the clinics, with not only the health department clinics, but also the healthcare district clinics, will be screening all employees and clients that enter our facility. What this is going to do is protect both our staff and our clients, so that our clients can feel safe coming to the clinic. And we desperately need to keep all our staff healthy so they can continue doing the job. As nurses and doctors, we don't have the option not to come to work, and we certainly cannot work from home. Now, there is telemedicine, and so some of the clients, we're going to be able to call them, for example, maybe refill their prescriptions, or send them to get a prescription, or maybe take their prescription outside so they don't have to come inside. So we're going to be working on many of these items to try to keep our patients as safe as possible and to keep our staff coming to work every day. So are we taking questions, or are we going to pass it on? At the end, okay? So I'll get out of the way and let the next person speak.
Very good. We're also pleased to be joined here by some of our state leadership. Senator Bobby Powell, we thank you for being here. If you have some comments, we'd love to hear from the state perspective. But for right now, we're going to call up the Superintendent of Palm Beach County District Schools, and that will be Dr. Fenway. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Well, good afternoon. A reminder to our students, staff, and parents, schools will be closed tomorrow through at least the last scheduled day of spring break, which is March the 27th. Over the next 2 weeks, we will evaluate that timeline and decide if it's in the best interest of our students to extend the return to school date. While schools are closed, district offices will remain open. All 12-month employees and food service managers will continue to work during this period. Teachers and all other support staff are not to report to work tomorrow. I ask all employees to refer to the staff reporting guidelines emailed to you on Friday. You will also find that information on our district hub. I'm so proud of the district because we do so much more than teach children. We're also doing our best to feed children. That will not change during this unscheduled closure next week. Starting tomorrow, our food service department will serve grab-and-go meals for children 18 and younger. The feeding sites will be located at 30 schools across the district. You will find the list of locations on the district's dedicated coronavirus website, which is palmbeachschools.org/coronavirus. Free meals will be served tomorrow through Friday, March the 20th. These bagged meals containing breakfast and lunch items will be distributed at parent drop-off areas of the 30 feeding sites you will see on the website. Parents can drive up, walk up, bicycle up, arrive any way that they wish to collect the food. In addition to the bagged meals supplied by the school district, the organization Feeding South Florida will provide boxes of food on Tuesday and Friday of this week. Those boxes will also be distributed at the district's established feeding sites from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. The food is intended for families of our students. Please be aware that the breakfast and lunches provided along with the boxed food for families may contain some allergens, and we ask those adults picking up the food to be diligent to ensure that they do not take food if allergens may be a concern. I am overwhelmed by the outpouring of support from our community. Many people have offered to volunteer at our feeding sites and in many other ways. My staff and I will further assess volunteer opportunities and needs tomorrow. Unlike hurricanes, this is a much different and dynamic situation, so having volunteers could actually be a challenge, but we will evaluate that tomorrow during our executive staff meeting. But again, to everyone who has volunteered, I can't thank you enough. I also extend my sincere gratitude to Comcast. Comcast is opening its Xfinity network nationally for free for 2 months. This will help students who don't have Wi-Fi receive digital instructions if necessary. You can find out more at internetessentials.com. The district also emailed a technology survey to parents last week. It's called the Instructional Continuity Home Support Survey. This survey is designed to assess families' needs for digital support if the district remains closed beyond March 27th. Parents, I encourage you to complete the survey and return it to the district by Wednesday of this week. If you didn't receive the email containing the survey, you can also access it at the district's coronavirus website. Finally, it is very important that parents are especially sensitive to the emotional needs of their children right now. With schools closed and coronavirus the source of nonstop conversation on TV and in our homes, children are being exposed to a lot of information and misinformation. This may be a frightening time for them. As a father of 2 young children, I am seeing the impact in my own home. Every time I leave, they keep saying, well, when are you coming home? So please understand that our children have needs as well. My advice is to inform your children through age and developmentally appropriate conversations. Make your messages positive and solutions focused. Make children feel empowered by sharing proactive actions that you are taking as a family. Remind your children that you are being diligent about washing hands, avoiding crowds, and taking care of your health. Try to maintain structure, very important, including reading with your children every day. I can't leave without saying that. It's important that children know that there's a movement towards a solution within your family and within our entire community. You will find resources on the district website that offer ways in which you can have calming, reassuring, and empowering conversations with your children. Again, the address is Palm Beach School/coronavirus. For answers not found on our website, I invite you to call our coronavirus information hotline Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Representatives are available in English, Spanish, and Haitian Creole. That number is 561-969-5840. Thank you, and that concludes my comments at this time.
Thank you, Doctor. It's now my pleasure to invite up to the podium Palm Beach County Fire Rescue Chief Reginald Dern. As we know, our first responders have been facing some unique challenges in this pandemic and coronavirus scenario, and they've had to adapt very quickly, and I'm very impressed with the work that they've done. We've been updated on the new protocols and new equipment that they're using, and I'll let the chiefs respond directly to that. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mayor. Good afternoon. Palm Beach County Fire Rescue remains Palm Beach County Fire Rescue remains prepared and fully capable and ready to meet the demands of this community. Our firefighters have trained for their entire careers for times like this. I also want you to be aware that we have a command staff that is in place now that is currently taking actions to assure that we're doing the best practices and following directions of the CDC as well as the health department. I want to remind the community, please be patient. When you call 911, yes, you will be asked several additional questions, but also know the response units are still coming. There is absolutely no delay to response. Also want you to know we're going to continue to be diligent. We're going to take all actions necessary to make sure we're prepared and continue to be prepared. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. All right, and finally, we're in the middle of early voting, and we have a Super Tuesday coming up here shortly. And I think we can all agree that we've been uniquely impressed by the leadership of our Supervisor of Elections in this difficult time. I'm going to invite her up now to make some comments. Thank you for your service, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you very much. As you mentioned, I'm Wendy Sartori-Link, Supervisor of Elections, and we do have an election on Tuesday. Our office has fielded a lot of calls asking whether or not the election is going to be postponed. It is not. We have early voting going on today through 6 o'clock at 16 sites throughout the county, and we encourage people to still go and do that. But then Tuesday, we will have an election 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. We did have to move 19 locations, and that was because of the executive order of the governor. And those were primarily involving assisted living facilities, group homes, nursing homes. Those voters have all been notified, and we also have information on our website about that. Wanted to also thank our partners here at the county and with the school district. They have jumped in and helped us. As you can imagine, this is posing a lot of unique challenges that we haven't faced as an elections office before. Getting supplies for us is as difficult as it is for everybody else, and trying to find locations on a very short time frame has been difficult. But the county, both the school district and the county have been wonderful, and we appreciate your help with that. Wanted to let you know that we are taking precautions for our poll workers. because we are encouraging those who are able to come to come. We have received a number of people who have called, and because of their age, or they're in a vulnerable population, or they don't feel well, or they've traveled in the areas that are recommended by the CDC that they not travel and still be a poll worker, we have had a number of cancellations. So we are working with the poll workers who we still have. We will be providing gloves for each of them. We have Clorox or some type of disinfecting wipe, as well as we have hand sanitizers for our poll workers so that they can stay safe and help our voters. When the voters come in, we've gotten questions and we're recommending you go ahead and bring your own pen. A black pen is best because people are concerned about touching pens that others have touched. As well, if you have a stylus, you can use that. We will ask you to wash your hands as soon as you finished. As Dr. Alonso had indicated, the big issue is we don't want you touching a surface and then touching your face. So should you feel comfortable, bring your own hand sanitizer, bring your own Clorox wipe, and wipe the surface that you're going to do. That's going to be the best thing that we can assure so that you're comfortable, that you're getting the clean surface that you're looking for. Our poll workers will be following CDC protocol, which is that they will be periodically wiping down all the surfaces, both in the privacy booths as well as the equipment. So we are following CDC protocol for that. And because we have had a lot of the poll workers cancel, we are adding an additional class. So we've worked with the Republican Party, the Democratic Party, the county, and if anybody is home and not working and wishing that they could help us out on Tuesday, we would love to have additional poll workers. So we will have an additional class added for 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. And if you are able to do that, please contact our office. 656-6200 is the number for you to call to let us know that you're able to join us for a class tomorrow to become a poll worker for Tuesday. We are moving poll workers around right now, so to our poll workers, I say please be patient with us. Because of the number of cancellations we've had, we are having to move people from one location to another so that we can try to keep every location that we still have open. So thank you very much for all that you're doing. Last thing is vote by mail. You can still pick up a vote by mail ballot in our office. So you can come do that Monday. And we are also going to, because of the state of emergency, allow that to be the emergency reason that people can pick up a vote by mail ballot in our office on Tuesday. So you can still come do that if that's your desire. We encourage you to check the website, pbcelections.org, because we will have constant updates on that. So with that, thank you very much.
Thank you, Supervisor. That concludes our list of speakers. I have a couple quick points that I wanted to deliver on behalf of our county executive and county administrator, Virginia Baker, who's joining us here. She's been very busy executing on this important mission along with other professionals behind me. There is an emergency information center that will open on Monday, tomorrow, and will be open from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. for general questions regarding county operations. So that's not cities. If you have a question for a specific city, this number will not be the one you want to call, but from a county perspective, if you have questions about county government and our operations, that number is 561-712-6400. Again, 561-712-6400, and that's open from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. I also want to remind everyone while you're at home, it would be a great time to complete your 2020 census questionnaire. I meant to inform you, ma'am, County Administrator, that I've completed mine. Very good. And I've put that in the mail today. It'll be picked up tomorrow. Don't forget to include everyone in your household. Also, I'm joined, like I said earlier, by members of the Board of County Commissioners. Do any of my colleagues have any comments they'd like to deliver to the electorate? None? Very good. With that said, I want to take before we open up to questions, I want to say that I'm not a doctor, but I am a true believer, and I truly believe that the recent success that we've had overnight with no new cases is because of the diligence and commitment of our community to following the social distancing guidelines and being proactive in ensuring we do not unnecessarily spread the coronavirus. I ask that our community maintain that diligence. You are leaders of your homes, of your workplaces, of your businesses, of other institutions. This is a good time to show leadership by leading by example. I hope that we continue to do that. There are things on the internet, there are things on Twitter, people making light, people in federal positions, elected positions that are making light of this. This is not the time for jokes or to tweet pictures of you in a bar drinking. This is a time to come together as a community because this is serious stuff. You don't want to be the healthy young man or woman that goes to the bar at 2 a.m. and then lo and behold, your grandmother's infected of it because you had to go out that night. I say this not as a representative of the Board of County Commissioners, but as Dave Kerner, the county mayor, who believes deeply that these social distancing protocols and our commitment to understanding how powerful this virus can be and what our role in spreading it really and truly is. And I commend those of you in the community that have stepped up to the plate. Our democracy doesn't shut down because of this. We are still under a state of emergency, but you've heard the supervisor of elections say, hey, if you're willing to step up and abide by the social distancing and CDC protocols, now is a great time to serve your community during the early voting and election on Tuesday. So if you're one of those people that wants to step up, please contact the supervisor of elections. With that said, thank you for your attention here today. Thank you to the press for allowing us to deliver news timely to our community and information, and we'll open it up to brief questions that are hopefully related to communicating important information to our constituents. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, I'm Lenny Sue Paul with WPTV, and there was just a joint press conference with the City of Miami Beach and City of Fort Lauderdale addressing an influx of spring breakers and the possibility of closing beaches. Are we seeing that here in Palm Beach County being such a big tourist destination?
I haven't seen that personally. Those decisions, although roundtabled by the board, are made by our county administrator. I don't foresee. Did you want to respond to that? Can you repeat the question?
No, you need to repeat it.
Oh, the question was, I know the question. The question was in Fort Lauderdale and in Miami-Dade County, there's an influx of spring breakers, in which they've traditionally received that sort of spring break attention, not us so much, which I'm okay with, at least in this time period. And are we going to have any concerns in Palm Beach County about spring breakers coming down here, and are we going to close the beaches? Right now, all of our facilities are open. We don't typically see that increase in spring break travel, at least not the young party goers. And there's a lot less domestic travel right now, so I don't anticipate that to be a problem. And as I said, our beaches are open, our golf courses are open, and other recreational facilities. Next question.
Curtis and CBS 12 News. Are we doing anything to help out our elderly that have to go out and travel to their local grocery stores to pick up things? Because now you see there's a scarce amount of toilet paper, water, food. You know, they're saying that they're struggling. Are we making any conscious effort to account for our elderly?
I hope that we're all individually stepping up, and I want to repeat that you can call to the county. At some point, our EOC number will be live as well, right?
8 a.m. in the morning.
At 8 a.m. in the morning. I can't give you any specific response to that, except if there's a need, please reach out to your neighbors if you know some folks that are elderly and can't be mobile. And in fact, you know, we don't want to be visiting them too much or asking them to go out into the community. So if you can find a way to help those in your community, I hope you stand up, and I'll have a better answer for you shortly.
Can I give a?
Yes,
real
please,
quick?
Doc.
One of the things that we encourage after the hurricanes, and I can certainly encourage that right now, is if you know an elderly person who's in your block or within your area or across town, that you offer to them that you'd be glad to go pick up a list of groceries and then leave it on their doorstep so you don't come in contact with them.
Thank you, Doc. Any further questions? Yes, sir.
I'm Julius Big on Palm Beach Coast. I'm just wondering, will any county workers be filling in at the poll stations for just poll workers who are unavailable?
I'm sure there will be, and I could have either the county administrator or the supervisor respond to that.
We are currently providing county employees. We're working with the supervisor of elections now, and we'll continue to work with the supervisor of elections to ensure that our residents get the proper staffing levels at the polls.
Yes, ma'am.
I have a question about coronavirus testing. We're seeing that a drive-through coronavirus testing site will start on Monday. Can you explain to the community what they might need to know about
Will you repeat the
testing in
question?
general? We're hearing a lot of questions about that.
The question is about drive-through corona testing sites. I believe you're referring to a specific article that was in the paper or announcement of Found Care, which is one of the federally qualified health centers that is in Palm Springs. At least that's the picture that I saw. The drive-through testing sites are very useful because the person can drive through in their car, and folks in biohazard suits are sitting there taking the samples from their nose with a Q-tip. They take a sample of the nose and the throat. They put it in a medium. That medium then gets sent off to testing. They're given a number, they give their basic information, and they're contacted with that test result later. So there are 7 states that are using that. That's been set up by the feds, not locally. This particular one is one of the clinics that is setting that up. In Martin County, there was one, I believe it was Martin County, that the Cleveland clinic that runs the hospital that was there, they're doing something similar. So we are working with all our community partners. We've been in lots of conversations in terms of whether it's drive-through or testing sites that we can increase that number, because that's the frustration people are having, is getting calls and trying to go to their doctor, and the doctor telling them they can't do it, and getting sent from place to place. So people are frustrated with that, and we're working very diligently to try to help that and improve it.
So we will just have that one site at this point in time.
Correct.
And then I'll also just comment on the testing issue that Governor Ron DeSantis will be down in South Florida tomorrow, particularly in Broward, where they're a much bigger hotspot, as we all know, with regards to availability, new availability of test kits, the mediums that they need to send it to the lab, and that there will be broad testing for elderly, those over 65, and those in nursing homes as well. So, any other questions? With that, yes, ma'am. Senator didn't want to speak, but we appreciate his leadership, and we appreciate the state's leadership as they work with 67 counties in unfamiliar territory, quite frankly. And so I wanted to make sure that we appreciate the Department of Health, and I hope that we all take some time tonight to say a prayer for all of our medical professionals that are out there in the community, stepping up to the plate. Our firefighters, our deputy sheriffs, they don't miss a beat, but particularly our health professionals, from the lowest level to the highest level. You don't have to be a doctor or nurse to play a big role in this. And we appreciate the work that they're doing, and they're out there on the front line. So thank you, Doctor. I know that you met with every person in the PBIA terminal that came off that JetBlue. You were there at late hours. I've never seen you not at something.
I would never miss an event.
She would never miss an event. And so, through all the criticism and all the conspiracy theories and people's opinions, I hope we stop as a community and as a country and show our thanks and appreciation to our medical professionals that always have our back. With that, we will adjourn. Thank you.
Yeah.